Parents must become learners to enable the child to retain their natural ability to learn. That is very important thing. And what is that we should be inquiring is that we should inquire what does the child do naturally. We purposely don't call it play, because the moment we say play, then already the conditioned mind will look at thing that is defined as play. Every activity is something that we should look at. Understand? Huh? So the activities that children do is actually to understand the world. And our confusion is that we assume that it is the word that is knowledge. So the second aspect that needs to be documented is that what is the role of language in a child's life? Understand? And how does the child connect the word and the world? These are held together by the child. Even though modern educated people don't have this connection, the child connects these two. And the first thing the child engages with is not the word but the world. Understand? And the third aspect, which is very important, is what is the role of drawing in the cognitive process. Today drawing is understood as art, as self-expression. So exactly like play and toy, drawing has been completely misunderstood. So in our school experience, when we didn't interfere at all with children began to draw, and we documented all the drawings, 3 years of drawing, and we found that exactly like what I showed you in terms of making things, as a process of understanding the real world, we found that their drawing is connected with cognition of three-dimensional world in terms of two-dimensional space. That is also a cognitive process. It is not an artistic process. Understand? In cognitive process, the attention is on the object, not on the drawing. This is secondary. But in an artistic process, drawing becomes important, what you draw. So the problem today is that our focus is on what has been drawn, and then you say this is artist and this is not an artist. Whereas in a natural cognitive process, what is drawn is not important. What they observe is important. So drawing that way becomes important for every child. But drawing is not spontaneous. Please understand this. Drawing is not natural, it is not spontaneous. If there is no condition for drawing, children will not draw. But that condition should be developed very, very carefully. Because if you ask children to draw, that will also create problem. So it has to be, developed in a very, very sensitive manner, that children will begin to draw naturally and make that into a cognitive process of understanding three-dimensional world in terms of two-dimensional space. Understood? So no, you shouldn't draw, because yours is not a cognitive process. Okay. Understand? You see, quite often people say that my child used to do certain things up to the age of 12 and now they don't do it. Many people say that, no? Because what they did till 12 years is because of a cognitive need. Once that need is over, they stop it. Understand? So our misconception is that is something that they like to do and they did it and now they are not doing. No. You can then complain that my child used to crawl, he stopped crawling. No, you're not saying that, huh? Of course. It's like that actually. So at every stage there is an activity that the child does, and at a later stage it's forgotten. So all these activities are like that. But none of the play that children do, they don't do later. Na? Understand? So there is a natural growth in that. The change keeps on happening. At a certain age, this is what the children do, and it keeps changing. And the only thing is that we don't have to interfere with that. We don't have to provide anything for that. We have to let those things happen. Of course, pencil and paper, all that would be required. But of course, I will do a presentation on that later. What happened in our school and why I say this is a cognitive process. You can yourself look at it the way I showed you the drawing, the activities, with a clear logic, Similarly, I will show you the drawings, and you will see the connection between. And another very important thing is that people who do modern research on drawing, of course, for them drawing is art, and they don't see the connection between what they make and what they draw. Understand? In terms of making a house like this and the house they draw, they don't connect with these two things. What we need to do is to connect every activity the child does. The activities that children do, the language that children use, how they connect these two, and the drawing the children do. And see the connection between all the three. Then you see a clear logic in all the three together. Understand? Today all these are separate. Drawing is done by people who have never looked at children's play activities or what they make.